It didn't start today, you know. Russia has been trying to bully the West with nuclear weapons like for ages. In 2018, Russian President Vladimir Putin attempted to muddy the waters by announcing the development of weapons not covered by the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, START 3, including the nuclear-powered Buryavestnik long-range cruise missile and the Poseidon nuclear-capable super torpedo. Along with talk of modernizing its nuclear triad, this was all intended to underline Russia's strategic edge, impress the United States establishment, and make Washington more accommodating on other issues. Nuclear threats always were, yet since the beginning of this war, have become routine for the Kremlin. Every time Kiev is supplied with new weapons, or is given permission to use Western arms to strike Russian territory or attacks Russia's missiles warning system, legit military targets by the way, Moscow resorts to nuclear threats. Ignoring that Washington has placed on its support for Ukraine, the Kremlin is doing everything it can to show that it does not care about upholding arms control. Well, in regard to nuclear power plants, largest power plant in Europe, Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, is a great means of bullying, actually. It is openly looted and mined, and fires happen there time to time, so the worse for the world, the better for the Kremlin. As to the Kremlin, it is nothing but yet another big nuclear warhead and a chance to bully the West. And it shouldn't, but it's working.
Acting as if Russia might really use a nuclear weapon. And that sends a message to Pakistan, Iran, North Korea, China, anybody else that has nuclear weapons or wants a nuclear weapon, that the United States can be so deterred, stopped from doing what we should do just because Russia threatens to use a tactical nuclear weapon. I think this is a terrible signal to send.
Thank you, Mr. Hodges. It shouldn't be working in very easy terms because Russia is a terrorist state. That is why. Because Russia, which systematically violates all the norms of international humanitarian law and nuclear safety and security regulations, resorts to mass destruction, weapons, manipulative threats. That is exactly why. Because Russia is trying to present itself as a victim and accuse Ukraine of alleged provocations against nuclear safety and security.
According to Ukrainian intelligence, Kremlin is preparing strikes on Ukrainian nuclear energy critical objects ahead of winter. In particular, it concerns open distribution devices at NPPs and transmission substations, critical for the safe operation of nuclear energy. Damage to those facilities creates a high risk of a nuclear incident with global consequences. Our special services have passed those data to our partners. Andriy Sybiha, Minister for Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, on social network X.
And one more thing here. So before the war, Russian environmental group Eco-Defense has released a report titled, I quote, "Dreams and Reality of the Russian Nuclear Reactor Export." The report focuses on planned and ongoing construction of Russian-designed nuclear power plants around the globe and the amounts Russia is willing to spend to support its export in this regard. So throughout 2018, Rosatom, these guys kinda in charge of Russian version of nuclear safety, which, as we clearly see in Zaporizhzhia, a heavily mined facility is in fires from time to time. So this very Rosatom repeatedly states that it was building 36 new nuclear reactors around the globe and estimated the total value of its foreign nuclear orders at over $130 billion. So in easy terms, whatever state of this construction is up to this day, consider Russia building 36 more nuclear threats to the world. That much is clear.